Hello, friends! This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Bong! Oh, yes. And we have more Haydn, some of which we've seen before, some of which we have not. And, there's some interesting stuff here, actually. Some really interesting stuff. Not just the usual, but we begin with the usual Haydn symphonies. The Morning, Noon, and Night symphonies with Harnoncourt and the Concertus Musicus Wien on period instruments, 72 fun-filled minutes with some very strange sounds coming out of that orchestra. Harnoncourt was crazy, and you never quite knew what you're going to get, but you cannot say that these are not colorful. They are very colorful. The storm at the end of number 8 is stormy. And the recitative in number 7 with the aria for the solo violin is just marvelously dramatic. These are fun. They are fun to listen to. And, there's no question whether or not this is like authentic, whether it was right or wrong or good or bad or indifferent or any of those things. It's Harnoncourt. It's what it is. He was himself. And a fun conductor of this music. And, sometimes it could be perverse, but as often as not, he could be brilliant. And these are good. They're fun to listen to. They're kind of like his Four Seasons, where, you think you know the music, but then you just hear all these like really strange things going on. Some odd tempo choices and weird balances, but it illuminates the music. It's controversial. It stimulates discussion, and in a good way. He's not being perverse for the sake of it. He's asking questions. And that's fair. That's really fair. Then we've got, the Haydn London Symphonies, 6 of them in the Phillips 50 series, meaning they're Colin Davis with the Concertgebouw. Now, we just talked about those on Phillips Duo. And in this particular twofer, Gramophone says the clarity of articulation and inner detail are almost beyond praise. Clarity of articulation. Okay, I get that. Inner detail. Do you really want to hear the inner detail? Do you buy a house so that you can look at the plumbing? Anyway, so we've got the surprise, the military, the clock, the miracle, the drum roll, and the London. So it's all the ones with titles. It's all the ones with titles. Which means it leaves out like the best ones. No, I mean some of the best. 102, supposedly Haydn's greatest symphony. I think it probably is. Or 99, which is kind of amazing. 97, 93 with the bassoon fart. Well, here it's not much of anything. So yeah, I mean they're very good performances. They have lots of clarity of articulation and inner detail. I mean, really, they were very, very highly regarded in their day, and they held up really well because Davis is a very good conductor, and the Concertgebouw plays just magnificently. So that's fine. It's okay. Next, Haydn Symphonies 94, 96, and 97 with the Concertgebouw and Edward von Beinum. This was back in the day. This is from some, private pirate label called Sound Dynamics Associates. Yeah, where, you had to get these from people who made CD copies of LPs. That's what this is. I mean, was it legal to do it? Quasi. It was quasi-legal, I guess. And you couldn't get them. Now, of course, there are several Edward von Beinum boxes. You got Beinum boxes everywhere. Boxes of Beinum. So you don't need this. But before those came out, we needed this. So that's how I got a lot of these things on CD. Since then, I was able to get rid of them. I mean, they're, nicely transferred. I mean, people did this with great care and love and charged a pretty penny for it. So, yeah, that's what we were stuck with. That's why I keep these things in the Overflow room, because they tell us the history of, this music on disc. Some people say, who cares about what was in your record collection? Why do you do it? And, it's just a waste. And, well, I think it's very interesting. I do. Others may not, but I find it fascinating to look at the discographic history of these pieces and see how they were treated by their record labels. It's all there for the future. Someone can write a doctoral dissertation on it if they feel like it. The Creation with Igor Markevich. Now, again, this has been reissued since the old Markevich box, but it's with the Berlin Philharmonic, with Irmgard Seefried and Richard Holm and Kim Borg and the St. Hedvig's Cathedral Choir. This was recorded in 1958, and it's in mono. Wow, or it was released in 1958. And it is in mono, and it's Markevich, and everything Markevich did is worth hearing. He was so smart, and he was wonderful in music of this period because, I mean, he wasn't a period instrument guy. He was before that, really. But he had that aesthetic. You know, he was not a romantic at all. You know, as a composer, he made Stravinsky seem warm and human and fuzzy. So, you know, he was a guy who was into rhythm and timbre, and oh gosh, he was so fabulous. He was fabulous conducting romantic music. And his Haydn creation, sonically, it's a little and it was remastered when it was re-released in the box. It had good effect, but it's wonderful hearing him play that music because he's so smart. He knows how to balance things and what to do with them. It's just amazing. And next, oh yeah, we have 2 discs of Haydn songs. First, the 12 Lieder für das Klavier. This is on bridge. This is a wonderful record. Absolutely wonderful. And the cantata Ariana on Naxos. So the 12 Lieder first part, which is numbers 1 through 12, published in 1781, with Tom Bagan forte piano. And Tom Bagan is a tremendous period instrument clavecinist. And he plays harpsichord, he plays forte piano, he plays lots of Haydn. He's terrific. And the soprano is Andrea Folon, who's also splendid. And they're beautifully recorded. And if you don't know this music, I mean, no one knows Haydn's Lieder. There are a couple volumes of them. He didn't write them like Schubert wrote them, but these are the German ones before he got to the English ones. And they're beautiful. They're charming, and they're, you know, it's for domestic consumption and domestic music making, but Haydn was Haydn. And there was very little he didn't do that was interesting. So this is a wonderful and rare disc on Bridge Records. It's worth looking for if you're a Haydn person. And then there's this classic, Ellie Ameling sings Haydn. 21 tracks of Haydn. Lots and lots and lots of Haydn. Recorded in 1980, and you get the London canzonas, the English language songs, which are absolutely fabulous. They are the invention of the German Lied. They really are, and they are beautiful. They've held up really well. The piano parts are independent of the vocal parts, and it's with Jörg Demus and Ellie Ameling at her very best. She was always at her very best. I mean, they're what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yes. 14, or something like that, English songs. They were 2 books of 6 each, and then 2 extra ones, if I'm not mistaken. And they're major songs. They're not like little sniglets. They're 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, major songs. And then you've got a whole bunch of other little lieder and things that Haydn also wrote for various purposes included here. It's just a fabulous disc. Really, really first rate. So if you're a Haydn vocal person, or just a vocal person, or a lieder person, these 2 discs on Bridge and Philips, now Decca, well, you know, forget the Ameling. It's in the Ameling box, but otherwise, you know, it's probably not available separately, but the Bridges should still be kicking around. You should hear those. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.